Coming up on today's episode of Airborne, women take over AirVenture. SkyCraft puts the sport and light sport aircraft. And we bring you the latest update on the One Week Wonder project. Welcome to Airborne on Aero-TV. I'm Ashley Hale, coming to you all this week from EAA AirVenture. Today at the show, women congregated for the 7th annual WomenVenture event. Today, a day-long roster of women-centric events were organized by Women in Aviation International, the 99s, and the EAA. The day started with a breakfast at the Nature Center. WAI President Peggy Chabrian announced that over $517,000 was committed thus far for 91 scholarships to be awarded at the 2015 WAI conference in Dallas. There were 2 new agriculture pilot scholarships sponsored by Thrush Aircraft. And for 2015, there were already 4 new scholarships, including a 737 NG type rating scholarship from Boeing. This was followed by the annual WomenVenture group photo on Boeing Plaza, and the subsequent gathering at the Theater in the Woods for a lunch and presentation by Debbie Travis King, the first woman to pilot a B-29 in 70 years. Chabrian said, quote, "Every year, WomenVenture grows in popularity," end quote. Our ANN in-house airplane home builder, Earl Downs, stopped by the One Week Wonder project to check on its progress. Here's Earl's report.
Here we are at EAA AirVenture 2014. It's the beginning of day 3 of the One Week Wonder. Let's take a look and see how things are going.
We're working on the right wing and the spars. They've got 1 tip to do yet, and then we're going to be able to start putting it back together.
When do you think you're going to have this part of it finished?
They're telling me we should be done in about a half an hour, 45 minutes, so they can start riveting.
I think it's going pretty good. I just started this morning, my first day on this part of it.
At the moment, we are working on the horizontal stabilizer and the elevator. And so the skeleton, everything is been built already, and so we want the public to come by and to pull the rivets when the skin is on, and that's what we are doing basically. So we are having them come in one by one to pull the rivets for us. Remember, it's 1 rivet after 1 rivet, the plane gets ready.
Have you had experience on working on this kind of an airplane before?
Yes, I have worked on the CH-701 before in Ghana.
Okay. Having a good time out here?
I'm having a great time, meeting great people, lovely people with different minds.
From what we can see, looks like 1 wing is almost finished, fuselage well underway, rudder is complete, getting ready to install a nose gear, cowling is being worked on, horizontal tail surfaces are well underway. We're on schedule, it's looking good.
You're watching Airborne. We'll be right back after these messages with more news from EAA AirVenture Oshkosh.
It's time to elevate your flight planning experience. In celebration of AirVenture, we are excited to announce iFlight Planner's competitive upgrade program. We are confident you will love iFlight Planner's suite of easy-to-use flight planning tools and invite you to trade in your current flight planner and trade up to iFlight Planner. Purchase an iFlight Planner Premium membership and we'll honor the remaining time on any competitive subscription. Learn more at iflightplanner.com/upgrade. Make the switch and plan your next flight with iFlight Planner.
The aviation industry is far too automated and impersonal. Levels of care, service, and focus on customers have faded. Concierge provides premier customer care, leading our industry on a return to service. Find us at www.concierge.aero.
The IMC Club is a nonprofit organization with chapters all over the U.S., where instrument-rated pilots can meet to sharpen their skills and share their stories. Not the kind of stories told in casual conversation, but the ones you can only share with other pilots. Topics range from emergency scenarios to equipment and flight planning to FAA policies and much more. If it's important to becoming a better pilot, we've got it covered. Visit imcclubs.org and find out how to get involved today.
AML's patent-pending wireless induction charging system eliminates confusion over those charging cables, cuts down cockpit cable clutter, and allows you and your passengers to fly cordless and eliminate the cable nightmare. www.aviationmodificationleaders.com.
The Bendix King KLR-10 Lift Reserve Indicator is now available for certified aircraft. It is an affordable, intuitive device for angle of attack awareness. Mounted on the glare shield, KLR-10 provides visual and audible lift cues while scanning for traffic or monitoring the runway on approach.
Welcome back to Airborne at EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. The SkyCraft SD-one Minisport is one of those aircraft you just can't walk past. It's diminutive, sporty looking, and as cute as a bug. The SkyCraft Airplane Company, located in Provo, Utah, has filed its special light sport compliance form and expects the FAA to complete its audit soon. This means they are on the road to being able to deliver a factory-built, single-seat, special light sport aircraft. It has a cruise speed of 118 miles per hour, and its engine sips only 2.1 gallons per hour. It's designed with easy wing removal for transporting the aircraft to and from the airport. This plane should be stamped Walter Mitty approved. Andrew Dow was presented with the first IMC Club brown jacket at a ceremony Wednesday at AirVenture. Dow is Chief Flight Instructor at Great River Aviation and Aviation Program Coordinator at Quincy University in Quincy, Illinois. The IMC Club International Brown Jacket will be presented each year to one GA pilot. The award recognizes excellence in 3 areas: flight proficiency, continuing education, and service to the aviation community. The award was presented by airshow performer Michael Goulian and a member of the IMC Club Board of Directors. Airborne at AirVenture is brought to you by some of the best sponsors in the aviation business. We'll be right back with more news.
A real airplane, not just a toy. The Airplane Factory Sling is a high-performance 2-place LSA that fits the needs of private individuals, flight schools, and flying clubs alike, and has been called one of the best-handling LSAs on the market. Check it out at www.airplanefactory.com.
4Flight Mobile gives you better situational awareness, more productivity, and simplified decision-making in one elegant app. Start your 30-day trial today and discover the joy of flying with 4Flight.
The new TN70 from Trig Avionics combines a WAAS GPS receiver and matching antenna in one convenient and affordable package. It's the smart way to achieve ADS-B out compliance. Contact your approved Trig dealer now. Find out more at trigavionics.com.
295 and counting. That's the number of lives saved so far by the revolutionary BRS airframe parachute. See and read why BRS can keep you safe at www.brsparachutes.com.
Welcome back to Airborne at EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. Lockheed Martin introduces version 9.1 of its online flight services product. The product allows for in-flight electronic PIREP submission, along with many other enhancements and new capabilities. In-flight PIREP submission is the most recent component of the Flight Service Data Link strategy. The PIREP submission infrastructure lets pilots submit a PIREP without contacting flight services via radio, and urgent PIREPs are immediately uplinked to other pilots registered for ACAS and flying in the same area. Additionally, Garmin and DeLorme have joined the group of industry partners that have integrated with those services. The text and in-flight satellite communications messages are easier to understand, and the email alerts now contain complete information about the adverse condition. There are other improvements, and more information can be found at www.lockheedmartin.com. AirNav is aimed at service for Android devices. The app gives its users access to a directory of over 44,000 airports, NOTAMs, and runway information for airports worldwide. It also includes airport diagrams, FBO information, fuel prices, and more. The flight planning section allows for rubber banding to change a route of flight on the device, user-defined waypoints, and winds aloft compensation. Other features include map overlays for TFRs and controlled airspace, terrain, obstacles, and METARs. Approach plates and runway diagrams are geo-referenced, showing your aircraft position. The AvNav app shows your GPS position on the included charts, and it receives updated ADS-B information for weather and traffic displays. Airborne at AirVenture is brought to you by some of the best sponsors in the aviation business. We'll be right back with more news.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Concorde Platinum Series batteries are available for all aircraft and offer extra cranking power, resulting in less draw on the battery per cycle for longer life. Visit booth 2053 at Oshkosh. Concorde, for the heart of your aircraft.
The debate is no longer about upgrading GA aircraft with NextGen, it's about financing it. The NextGen GA Fund is about doing just that. Find out more at www.nextgenfund.com.
The Evolution Flight Display System from Aspen Avionics delivers unique reliability and safety features to GA pilots and is truly the most flexible and affordable EFIS available. Aspen Avionics, a new way to look at avionics. Waco Classic Aircraft carries on the proud tradition of the open cockpit biplane, exhilarating to fly, beautiful to behold. With its classic graceful design, the Waco YMF 5D is custom built for each owner. Learn more at www.wacoaircraft.com.
Welcome back. On the eve of AirVenture 2014, ANN's Jim Campbell sat down with EAA Chair Jack Pelton. We'll be bringing you portions of that interview all week. Today, the two discuss how to bring new people into aviation.
Sport aviation community has been watching a number of transitions take place over the last few years. Where are you, about halfway into your 3-year at this point?
Yeah, I think it's something like that, yeah.
How do you like the job? Are you going to stick around, or what's the deal?
Well, I've committed to the board elected me as a chairman for 3 years. It has a term limit of 6. So, at the end of 3 years, decide if they want to keep me around.
So another 4.5 years, you're out here will fly for food?
Yeah, I don't know what would happen after the next 4.5 years. I'm sure they might find something for me to do.
When you walked into this, it was a serious period of transition. You brought a lot of peace to the process. There's no question about the volunteers are a lot happier. The membership sees some progress and all. What can they see from you in the future? Where are you specifically looking to lead the organization, not just the industry?
First of all, I think a lot of people also didn't realize that I had not been a board member for years. I had been actively involved as an EA member. I had been on the industry side as an exhibitor, but I was almost brand new to the board when they elected me as chairman. And I think as I've now become a little more acclimated to what's going on and what needs to occur and getting some things stabilized and back on good footing, there's this bigger issue about how are we going to create more aviation enthusiasts. And when you say enthusiasts, that's more than just pilots. And I want to spend more time on that because this is really where EA, I think, fits in the overall association role. We have very specific associations, whether it be MBAA or GAMA or AOPA. EAA is really the bigger tent, and we have to sit down and start spending more time as an industry together. We're trying to find a way to get some forums pulled together with some good thought leaders to say, what is this problem that we're addressing? I pick up an article from Experimenter in the 1950s and 60s where Paul's talking about we're losing pilots, aviation fuel prices are going through the roof. And if that's really just something we have to accept as table stakes, then what are the real issues? Because obviously we've had those issues forever in some relative form. So we've got to find a way to really look down the road and say, based on what we know, where we've been, but also what we think we know with the generations to come, how are we in fact going to impact their lives and make a difference and get them excited like we were about aviation? And I try to stay as positive as I can because you meet great stories where in fact they are. And again, setting expectations of, are we ever going to be post-World War II where everybody's coming out, GI Bill, learning to fly? And they didn't necessarily stick with it. We saw this large spike in participation. So we have to really set what's a reasonable expectation, what should we get, and what is it that's going to be the excitement factor for those generations. We're seeing it already more with the drone UAV, radio-controlled, large participation there. Simulation, that's cost price points coming down so we can get people interested in aviation through that. And I think, after this week, we'll probably take a step back and say, it's not all broken. We're going to have huge participation this week. We're going to get a lot of young people out here. a lot of people interested in what's going on, and we just have to be better marketeers of what we're doing. I get very discouraged when we talk about the negatives and not talk about, you can actually go build an airplane for a price less than what it costs you to buy a new SUV today and be able to go explore this country on your own with the freedoms that we have and do it, reasonably with discretionary income.
Well, that's our program for Airborne at EAA AirVenture. Be sure to tune in all this week for all the latest updates from aviation's greatest event. I'm Ashley Hale. Thanks for watching.